All right, so my name is Andrew. I'm the clinical team with Boston Scientific. We'll go over your new Moses laser. First, we'll start with room setup and everything like that. Nothing different than what you're used to doing already. You will use, though, this new Holmium sign here, just because the power is a little bit higher with this laser than your other one. So we do need to make sure that it matches with the laser you're using. So please use this sign here. It is still a Holmium laser like your other one. Wavelength is 2.1 microns or 2100 nanometers. That's invisible to the human eye, highly absorbed by water or clear fluid. So since it is invisible to the human eye, we did put an aiming beam on it. That's all the bottom two lines mean. It's a green beam on this laser, where your other one might have been red potentially. That green beam is just put on there to show us where it should be going, kind of like a laser pointer you play with a cat. Essentially the same thing as that. So we would still want to put a sign on each door that comes into the room so staff is aware that we're using the laser, as well as our laser safety eyewear. The eyewear that you currently have will still work with this laser. If you're not sure, just look for the numbers on the sides of the glasses, or potentially on the lens itself. It just depends what style you have. You care about 2100. This pair says 1550 to 2750. 2100's in between there, that's how you know they'll work. There's also an OD rating. That's what the material the lens is made out of and how much power it will protect you from. 4+ or higher is what you need on this. We should all be wearing, or if you aren't sure, take a picture of it, send it over to us. We can let you know if they'll work for your laser. A pair of glasses should go on each door that comes into the room as well, just like the signs. Then everybody in the room should be wearing the laser safety glasses as well while we're using that laser, including the physician and patient. Some physicians may refuse to wear the eyewear, so we still always want to offer them eyewear for every case. And then if they refuse, make a note that says Dr. Smith was offered eyewear and they declined. That way, if they were to get that eye injury, that documentation takes the liability off of you guys, keeps it on the doctor because they were offered and they refused to wear them. If you were to get an eye injury and burn your cornea, would have to have a corneal transplant to repair that. Then we do want to cover up our windows like you guys have in here on the inside of the room. If it was on the outside, somebody could potentially lift that drape up, and if the lens or the fiber was close enough, the energy could pass through the glass and you could get an injury through the glass. So please keep them on the inside of the room. Then the final room setup things, just be aware of your fire extinguishers here in the room or in the hallway just in case of a fire. Water saline on the back table in case of that fire as well. Then put that wet towel over the patient's leg. That'll serve two purposes: to hold that fiber in place, and then if that fiber breaks for some reason, I've seen scrubs put their arm on the leg and it snapped a fiber, that wet towel is going to absorb that energy instead of the drape of the patient's leg. So kind of the same setup you guys are used to doing already. So with our new laser down here, it is going to be that 220 plug. So it's our big plug here. It does go into that outlet. And then we plug that in. And then the most important thing with this laser is going to be a key. Please make sure whenever you're not using the laser that the key is put wherever you guys are storing it at the end of the day or the end of the cases. Please never leave it in or on the laser. That's the most common, most expensive fine given out to facilities. Been told well over $100,000 hospitals have been fined for leaving the key in the laser, so please put that back wherever you guys are storing that. We do have labels 1, 2, 3 on there that are super easy to follow, and then some cheat sheets were sent over as well. But key-wise, it is the most important part. This is going to be the biggest difference from your other laser. We do take the key with our teeth down, placed in the back of the laser here, and then we're going to give it a twist to the right so it's horizontal. That's going to unlock the system. It does not start it like your other key did. This unlocking it is going to say, hey, start the laser when we do power it up. If you forget to turn the key on, this is kind of the most common thing that's forgotten about right away, is they forget to turn the key on, or even to put it in, then just your computer screen turns on. And if you need to use it for that case, you'd have to shut it down, turn your key on, and then restart. So please try to remember, turn the key first. That is the most important part of the laser, of the startup. Down at the bottom right is your circuit breaker down here. You can leave it in that up position like it currently is right here. But if for some reason the power trips, somebody maybe bumps it with their hand or foot, it's going to flip down And if it's flipped down, you're not gonna have power coming to the laser. Just like if it's ever happened in your house or apartment, you have a couple things plugged into the outlet, trips the breaker, you have to unplug stuff, flip that breaker back, and then the outlet will work again. Same thing on here. So if the laser doesn't start and you give us a call, we're gonna ask one, if you have it plugged in. I forgot to plug the laser in when I've been in a hurry. And then two, we're gonna ask if that circuit breaker's flipped up. But you can leave it up at all times. In between the two wheels, there's a red and a black pedal. Those are gonna come in handy if you're pushing it down the hallway or for storing it. In the room, it's nice because all four wheels turn independently. But if you push it down the hallway, the laser kind of slithers a little bit and it is kind of heavy to push. So if you step down on that black pedal, that's gonna be your steer mode. Back two wheels will stay straight, just the front two will turn just like you're used to with your other laser. Red pedal down is gonna be your brakes. Then both parallel, like they currently are, allows all four of those wheels to turn independently. Foot pedal wise, doctor can step on this black button here to put it for any standby. We can still do that on the screen. When I do turn the laser on and select a preset, there's gonna be two pedals on here that are gonna correspond with the two settings that are on the screen itself. The pedal is very heavy, so please pick it up by the pedal itself. Do not pull with the cord. The cord will pull out over time. It is water resistant as well, but if the doctor's okay with it, put a bag over that pedal just so it's easier for you guys to clean. So, turn our key on first. That is the most important part. That is step one as well. Then we will swing around, come to the front of the laser. We have step 2 and 3 labeled on there. Step 2, we do want to check that red button, that emergency stop button. We want to make sure that it is popped out. You can leave it out at all times, but somebody may potentially bump it in by accident. And if it is bumped in, it's going to look the same to us. The laser is not going to start correctly if it isn't pressed in. So please be in a good habit. Just give it a twist to the right to make sure it's out. Pops out if it's in. Nothing happens if you twist it and it's already out. Then we will press our power on button here. You're going to hold it about a second or until you hear the laser click. That's when that starter has caught it and it's going to start the laser up. It should take roughly 2 minutes for the laser to start. So emergency stop out, press the power button. Fiber wise, while it's starting up, we're going to use these Moses fibers here. Box looks just like this. On the bottom, it's going to say your fiber sizes. We do have 3 different size fibers. So we have a 200, 365, 550 for our Moses fibers on there. We're going to open up whatever size the doctor would like to, so we would just open up the box. Inside the box is going to be a booklet that's double peel packed. So this nurse would open the peel pack, scrub and pull that out. Your booklet will be in a lot better shape than mine is, but then the scrub would just flip those little tabs and then pull that fiber out together. And then once they get that fiber out, it's going to look like this, except much longer, of course. Scrub would hand this to the nurse or whoever's going to connect it to the laser. Pop the cap off. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on the green locking nut. Should be very familiar or similar to what you guys are doing right now anyways. Fiber is going to connect in this little circle opening here. There's a little close button. We're going to slide close to open on there. So we just slide it from close to open. That's our dust cover. And then we will put that fiber on and twist it to the right until it stops. Righty-tighty. It is a fine thread, so it takes a few extra turns than you think it should. While the laser's starting up, it's doing its own self-checks inside, so we don't have to worry about test firing or anything like that with this laser. It's doing that all itself internally. When the laser is turned on correctly, you're going to hear these fans running. That's to cool the laser. But then this blue ring will be illuminated as well. So those are your 2 indicators that we did start it properly. If it was not started properly, this blue ring is not going to be illuminated and the machine may be quiet, so we won't hear the fans. If that was the case, right down here, there's going to be an error code. So what we would do is, where it says show notifications, we touch that tab, it's going to pull up and it's going to tell us an error code number, and it'll let you know if the key's not turned on or the emergency stop's pressed in. If that is the case, we would have to go back or close it, shut it down on the screen, turn the key on, pop that emergency stop out, and then restart that. So this one just says our fiber's not connected. If it was something else, take a picture of this number or write it down, because if you call our service team, they're going to need to know that number for troubleshooting, or if something needs to be replaced, it'll let them know what parts to have delivered for that too. So now I'll just finish finger tight to the right. Screen does a little flicker on it. It's going to tell us our fiber size down here at the bottom right, which is very nice because it will not allow the doctor to use a setting that's not safe or compatible for that fiber. So it is very nice. Cleveland will work with the doctors on what settings they want specifically on here. So we can save those on here for the doctor, so it'll take away any guessing game for you. These are just factory presets right now. So once we get those other presets on, it'll be nice and easy. Stone dusting is a very, very good general one right in the center. So we'll touch that. It's going to pull up dual screen. That corresponds with that dual foot pedal that we saw. So we have our left pedal setting, right pedals. Fiber, it's good to give it a once over to make sure there's no stray beams, no broken beams coming out the side of the fiber. If there was, please don't use that fiber. Give it to whoever is ordering. They'll reach out to us to get a new one. Put in a new fiber for that. If the doctor said it's too bright or too dim, that anything, just touch the target button down at the bottom left of the screen there. Once we touch that, we can select low, medium, high, or you can even turn that off. So whatever the doctor would like to do there. We did put a blinking light on there, so if the doctor was colorblind, they can see that pulsing. Or we joke around for a second, it's a party light. So you got Club Kidney, Club Yurder during the case, play some fun music, have some fun during the case. But that blinking mode is colorblind. You can see where that pulsing is. Suction setting, the bottom middle, we're going to ignore. We don't use that here in the States, so just ignore that setting there. And then I'm going to put the laser in ready just so you guys can see how the light changes and what the screen light looks like. So if you'd like, put some glasses on for that. So it goes to whoever wants those. Once we, remember the doctor can step on that pedal in the back to put it on ready mode, or we can on the screen. So when they do step on that pedal,
Ready.
the laser says ready, so we can hear that it's in ready mode. That way we can all have our glasses on. This will also go orange, so we can visually see that they're in ready mode. Then the screen is grayed out. When the doctor steps on the pedal, it's going to illuminate yellow around whatever setting that they're using for that foot pedal. The laser is going to go ting, 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 so we can hear that they're lacing. And this will also blink, so we can see that they're lacing. I mentioned the screen's grayed out because we cannot change settings in ready mode. We'd have to go back standby, so the doctor could step on that pedal, or we put it in standby on the screen.
Standby.
Laser lets us know it's in standby, then we can select the arrow, or some will slide the scrolly ball to change those settings, whatever the doctor would like to, or however you want to change those settings. Then it has those adjusted. There's an Uno rewind button up top center here. So if the doctor ever did change their mind and they did not want that setting anymore, they want the saved one, we just touch that Uno rewind, takes it back to whatever that saved setting was. So I'll show you guys here. Touch that, takes you back to the saved setting for us, then we can go back to laser. At the end of the case, you grab your joules versus wattage off the screen, however you guys are charting. Your total kilojoules are going to be at the top center of the screen right here. Next, I will show you where you can get that information if you forget to grab it off this screen. So you would touch the home button up top right here. Once you select this home button, it's going to take you back to your main screen. And if you forgot to chart, we would come and select this reports tab on the right-hand middle. So once we would select that reports tab, it's going to pull up your previous cases. It's going to go by date and time on there, no patient information or anything like that. So on there, you're going to have your date and time left, total durations on there if you're charting duration. If you don't, ignore that. On the right-hand side, you're going to have your fiber type as well as total kilojoules. In the center, under that preset name, that's where you're gonna get your settings. So the top one says stone dusting. So we would go back, select stone dusting, and you would select or write down those joules, hertz, wattage for your charting. And again, if I didn't mention, the engineer said they've counted over 400 cases on that reports tab, so just look for the date and time, should be on there for a while. When we are completely finished, we're going to shut down on the screen here. This is only to turn the laser on. So we're going to select that shutdown button. It's going to ask, do we really want to shut it down? If we are ready to shut it down, we're going to hit yes. Laser's going to get quiet again, so nobody has to yell. It's going to take roughly 45 seconds for the laser to shut down. That's for the computer software and everything to go down. Once these blue lights turn off and you hear a click on the machine, that is when the software and everything is shut down. Then we can unplug it from the wall, turn that key, and then take that key out and put it back wherever you guys are storing. You can clean the laser however you want to, but please do alcohol or screen cleaner on the screen itself. One, fiber-wise, we can unhook the fiber while it's shutting down, when it's turned off, or it's turned on. It makes zero difference. It's just lefty-loosey. It's a fine thread, so it takes a couple extra turns. Try to remember to slide from open to close on our dust cover. There was our click noise. Bloom rings off. We're good to unplug from the wall. Our fiber, once we disconnect it, it should technically go in the sharps bin because it's made of glass on the inside. They are single use as well. Final thing is going to be a debris shield on the laser. Your other one had this as well. This debris shield is going to look just like this. It's a lens, a one-way lens that's put in the system to only allow the energy to exit the laser itself. It will not allow it to come back in and hurt the optics or anything inside. We technically say to check it for every case, but if you forget to do that, please try to remember to check it every day or every week. In order to check it, we would just open up this window or little door there. You would pull this out. You would look into the light without touching this little lens, and it should be clear. If this is clear, we're going to place it right back in here, teeth in the 5 o'clock position. It's going to go at a 45-degree angle. You're just going to push it in until it stops, and then we close that up, and then we can put our fiber in and use it during the case. During a case, when you'd want to check it, would be if you hear a knocking noise at the laser, or if the doctor's stepping on the pedal, we hear that ting ting noise, but no power's coming out that fiber, we'd want to check it. Or if the doctor says, hey, there's no aiming beam turned on, but we have it high on the screen, we'd want to check this lens. During a case, you just put it in standby. Again, you would pull this lens out, you'd look at it. If it was dirty or kind of smoky like these ones I'm going to pass around, you would want to change it out. In order to change it out, it's super easy. In the back of the laser, we do have a label on here. It says spare or extra debris shield. You lift up this little compartment. There's going to be 2 full metal pieces back there. So you grab your new one, put the new one in, and then we'd want to change out our fiber. If you do have to change it out, give that fiber and that lens to whoever does ordering. They'll reach out to us to get a replacement. If you would hear that knocking noise or the doctor said there's no aiming beam or power coming out, you check this lens and it's still clear, put that same clear one back in, still change out your fiber. Usually it's a fiber issue if you hear any of those things, so give that fiber whoever it is you're ordering, they'll reach out to us to get it replaced. Some questions I get on the debris shield is how long they will last for. It depends on the usage and how you treat the laser. Just like your car, if you drive it a ton, the quicker you have to change the oil, rotate tires, things of that nature. It's the same with this. The more you use it, the more power you put through that lens, it could, go bad over time. If you play bumper cars with the laser, mirrors are going to get out of alignment. You can have those issues as well because the fiber wouldn't be lined up specifically with the little lens inside the laser itself. So please treat the laser with kindness. Don't play bumper cars or anything with it on there. So they'll last quite a while. But if you change it, just put it standby, check it. If it's clear, put the clear one back in, change out your fiber, start to laser. If it's bad, grab your new one from the back of the laser, put the new one in, change out your fiber, then you can start to laser again. So, really quick recap, plug the laser in, insert the key back of the laser, give it that quarter turn to the right to unlock the system, twist right on that red emergency stop button to make sure it's popped out, press your power button, roughly 2 minutes for it to start up. Once it's started up, we're going to connect the fiber size that the doctor wants, select the preset. They can go ready on the screen, or on the pedal, or we can on the screen. To change a setting, we have to go standby, hit the arrow, slide the scrolly ball, and change that setting. End of the case, grab your numbers off the screen there. We're going to touch the home button at the top right. If you need to, go to the reports tab on the right-hand middle. That'll have your case information as well. Then we're going to shut down on the screen. We're going to hit shut down. We'll hit yes. It takes roughly 45 seconds for the laser to shut down. When the blue ring's turned off, you hear a click noise. That's when it's safe to unplug from the wall. And then we take that key out of the back of the laser and put it back wherever you guys are stored.